All right, part 2 of a whole bunch of #1 issues for New Year, our weekend, and the last new comic book day of the year. So let's check it out. Hey, thanks for checking out my comics closet. I'm Lynn, and I got a whole bunch of more #1s that I had out, and I found a few more. I've got way many more, but we haven't got time for all that. Someday I may grab the boxes and just flip through them. I think I've done that once on some things. But anyway, so I've also got the last new comic book day of the year, which was New Year's Eve. So we'll show those here. We'll do those first, but well, first I'm going to say that I am going to a show's coming up this weekend, January 10th. It's the Warren Elks comic book show at the Macomb Elks Lodge down in Warren. So right there, check that out. Of course, also the Detroit comic book and toy show is coming up on April 4th, I believe. Another show by Martin Herchek. He puts on great shows, so you want to get down there and check that out. I'm going to be there too, I'm hoping, in Dearborn. And also we've got the Dawn of the Collector show coming up a week from Sunday, the 18th of January, I believe, and that's at the VFW Hall in St. Clair Shores. I think it's the Bruce Post, it's right on Jefferson, right there. And I think the Knights Hall show, I'm not sure if it's the same day, but they're starting to come up too, so there's those. And there's a Motor City Comic Con coming up in May, I believe, right? Right there, save the date. I forget what date. So anyway, now that we're done with that, let's check out these books I got from Comic Corner. Oh wait, but first, before that, I think we should do the dad jokes, because when I'm showing the new books, I like to do the dad jokes. So I'm gonna pull a totally embarrassing dad joke card off of the top of the totally embarrassing dad joke deck that my wife got me a couple years ago for Christmas. And I'm going to read these. I don't know what they are. Never saw them before. Here we go. 3 dad jokes. How did the cheese hold back the water with an Edam? Okay. How do ducks like their cheese? With quackers. I knew that was coming. Why is a tree like a big dog? Because they both have a lot of bark. Look at that, right in there. There's another coming at you. So, there's the dad jokes. All right, so I'm going to show the books. It was a very light week. I got from Comic Corner. Of course, I go to the one in Rochester Hills. There's another one in Fraser, Michigan. So, check those out. You can join the 25% off Comic Collectors Club, where you get 25% off all your new books in your pull box. And I think you get like 20% off everything else, or most everything else. All right, well, let's check this out. Actually, first I did grab this comic shop news that they had out there. I think I got 2 of those, right? Yeah. Comic shop news here. Kind of like a little newspaper. You know, pretty cool. Tells you upcoming stuff, you know. I've got a bunch of these. I try to grab them. I save them. You never know when one of them is going to have an image of something that someone might pay a couple bucks for. So anyway, I grabbed these. This is 2026 preview special edition of the DC Vertigo, you know, like a pre-order book. So it's I'll put that right there for now. You got to look at that ugly Hulk. Right? I'm not sure who's a new beginning. I'm not sure what these are. I don't get a bunch of Vertigo stuff. Got a bunch of artists listed, artists and writers listed. Oh, Nice House by the Sea, 7. Bleeding Hearts, 1. End of Life, 1. Peril of the Brutal Dark. And there's Arcane Mystery, #1. So that's what they're advertising there. If you're into, what is it? Vertigo, DC, Vertigo. Almost fall off my chair. And I grabbed this, which is Marvel free previews, which is Amazing Spider-Man #25. This is a number 52, January January issue for March 2026 shipping products. So this is the stuff that's coming out in March. So you can find these books, and then you can pre-order what you're looking for. So, well, I think on the back of it was X-Men United #1 coming up. So those are all the preview books. And then the first book that was in my pull box is this Punisher. I don't know what number it is. Can't see the numbers with these. Oh, number 4. So I can barely see it under the red band down there. Punisher #4, the red band edition. I haven't opened any of the red band books. I've got several of them, and the Punisher ones. And they're all still in the red band poly bag, because I guess they're kind of censored. They're for, mature content, I guess is what it is. And then this is, it's not grabbed off of the rack. Well, this was another one of my pull box, which is Spawn, The Dark Ages, #2 of 6. Have a crazy looking cover there. I got everything Spawn that I could get, since it came out. And then I picked this up off of the rack, because it's a variant edition. Hulk smash everything there. And this one actually goes with the other side of the box. I'll show you the picture of the other side of the box. And I have this one here, which was the variant edition. Here, let's put that here. Boom, bam, pow. I do have this one too. This is what I picked up originally. And the box, and it's got it full of Hulk stuff. Hulk covers. I'm gonna fill it up with some of my best Hulk stuff. I may put some of the Hulk stuff in like the BCW plastic boxes. I'm trying to keep all my good stuff in those plastic boxes. So anyway, that was everything that was in my pull box. And I did get this book from Rack. This is the only one I got. From Silent E Productions, it says, but it's an image book, which is Lucky Devils #6, which is Charles Soule writes this. And I went to a meet and greet with him. Well, it was him and Frank Cho. Oh, I forget who that guy was now. But anyway, it was like a meet and greet thing where he had stuff signed. Anyway, so that's all the stuff that was in my pull box with for the last New Comic Book Day of the year of 2025. So here we go into 2026. Actually, today is the first New Comic Book Day of the year, right? So as soon as I get done with this video, I'm going to run out and get my comics. And then I got to start editing this. So, well, let's start with what I have up here, because these are all new #1s I put up. I also wore the same shirt, which if you look, it's a Sir Graves Ghastly comic cover. I don't know if it's a real comic cover, but I thought it was a cool shirt. Used to watch Sir Graves Ghastly back in the 60s, maybe the early 70s. Not sure how long it went on. I remember watching it Saturday afternoons. He showed horror movies and a lot of the old stuff, and kind of joked around. It was kind of a little comedy stuff in between. And this was done by Mark Bloodworth, who is a great horror artist. He's going to be at the Detroit Comic Book and Toy Show in Dearborn. And he's got a bunch of, I think I got some pictures of some of his stuff. Anyway, so up here I have, and you can't see this very well, so I got to put a picture up, is the CBCS 8.0 with white pages, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars #1. You can see it. Maybe if I don't, I got that in the way. The lights are hard to get down here. I'm in my basement. This was put out May of 1984. And this is actually the blue Galactus variant, which I really knew nothing about. But I had it signed by Jim Shooter on February 25th of 22. And he asked me when I put it out there. Because at first I took issue 1. I took a couple of these are signed by Shooter. But he asked me if it was the blue Galactus variant. And I was like, I don't know. So we opened it up and looked, and it was. So he signed it on 2/25, like I say, 22. And it's got the first mention. This is the first mention of the Beyonder and the first appearance of the Battle World in a comic book. And they also have this ROM #1, ROM Space Knight #1, which is a CBCS 8.5 with white pages. Excuse me. And that was printed on December of 1979. That's a direct edition. Excuse me. And it's signed by Jim Shooter on 2/26/22. See, I brought this in the next day when I realized that he did it, I guess. Signed by Jim Shooter. It's got cover and, the cover is by Frank Miller and Joe Rubinstein, which I think they said it's like maybe Frank Miller's first Marvel art. I'm not sure. We also got interior art by Sal Buscema, the story by Bill Mantlo. It's the first appearance and origin of Rom and the first appearance of Brandy Clark and the Dire Race. So, and then this is CBCS 9/2 with white pages, Bloodshot #1, which is a Valiant book that was put out in February of '93. And I actually won this book at the Great Lakes Comic Con on that day, and Kevin Van Hook was there. That's kind of why I give it away, I guess. And Shooter was the Valiant editor-in-chief at the time, so I won it like right at the end of the show. It was like they were doing a raffle, drawing numbers, but at the end of the show, it was a big show, so there was nobody there with their tickets. So they finally just started doing a trivia contest. So I finally got in, and like one of the last questions, I don't remember what it was now. I think it was an X-Men question. But anyway, I won that book, so I went and got it, and then we ran down real quick to get Shooter and Kevin Van Hook to sign it. But anyway, so that is Bloodshot. Cover by Barry Windsor Smith. Interior art by Don Perillo and Bob Wyasek. And story by Kevin Van Hook. It's the first comic with a chromium cover, which is a cool looking cover. I have another one of these, a reader, that I think I bought at a show for pretty cheap. And I know I got that book when it first came out off the rack. And maybe I didn't get the chromium. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I did. I used to always. So, and it's got a centerfold poster by Barry Windsor Smith. So it's a cool book. Okay, now we're on to the CBCS 8/0 with white pages, Micronauts #1, which is a Marvel book that came out in January of '79. The newsstand edition. And it is signed by Joe Rubinstein. I didn't write it down here. But it says cover by Dave Cockrum and Al Milgrom, interior art by Michael Gold and Joe Rubinstein, and a story by Bill Mantlo. I think the story was Bill Mantlo was one of these too. I don't know. Oh, Rom. Story by Bill Mantlo. Okay, now we're at CGC 9/0 with white pages, Daredevil, A Man Without Fear, #1, Marvel book done in October of '93. It's signed by Johnny Romita Jr. on July 31st of 2022. It's got an embossed red foil cover, written by Frank Miller, and then it's J.R. Jr. and Al Williamson's cover and art. I took that in, and it was like a meet and greet with Johnny Romita Jr., and he signed a bunch of stuff. Okay, then down past that is CBCS 9/6, Night Thrasher #1. It's a Marvel book. It's from August of '93. The year in the month I got married. We're done with that now, I guess. And that's signed by Javier Salteras on 2/26/22. So that was at Motor City Comic Con too, which always came like the weekend right around my birthday, February 24th. That's cover and art by Javier Salteras. And art by Mark Bagley and Larry Malstadt. Story by Fabian Nicieza. It's the first Night Thrasher in his own title. The origin of Night Thrasher. Got New Warriors appearance. And it's an embossed red foil cover also. They both came out pretty much a couple months apart is all. The embossed covers, foil covers, all that stuff was big. That was the time for it. All right, now at the end, it was a CBCS 9/4, white pages, Ghost Rider #1, which is a Marvel book from September of 2006. Cover and art by Mark Teixeira. And art by Javier Javier Saltera's, story by Daniel Way, signed by Saltera's on 2/26/2022. And then I also had this signed. I bought this from Javier Saltera's, which is a cool cover, and he signed it. Oh, he signed it down here, and there's a signature on the. I've got a good picture of that. So maybe will that stay here? Hopefully that's not just a big glare. Anyway, then we'll go up to CBCS 96 White Pages, Shield #1. It's a Marvel book. It came out in February of 2015, which goes along with the Shield show. It's signed by Ming-Na Wen on October 18th, 2021 at the Motor City Comic Con. And then I had it signed by Clark Gregg, who was Colton, on May 21st, 2023. So I got both of them, and they both signed it, which is really cool. Came back in 96. I also have the 98 Don't Call Her the Cavalry Shield book that I just had Ming-Na Wen sign. So anyway, now we go over to, where am I at here? Oh, I'm going down here. Oh, the Venom is a CBCS 96 White Pages Venom Dark Origin #1, which is a Marvel book from October of 2008. And it's signed by Angel Medina with a remark, and the remark is on an ink blot. If you look at his eye there, there's like a little bump on it. And I noticed, I didn't even realize it as long as I had the book until I was going to go get them signed. And I took a bunch of stuff for Angel Medina to sign. And it had like that, it's got like a weird drop of ink on the cover. It was like a big blob of ink. You can see it on the inside too. And so I asked Angel Medina if he could draw a remark on it and use that blob as, do the remark around that somehow. So he used it like in the middle of the eye, which made it a very simple remark, but it looks cool. I was very glad he did it. And it came back in 96, because I didn't know what they were going to do with that blob on it, but I guess it didn't really mean anything. It's a printing error, manufacturing error. So anyway, that is signed by Angel Medina with a remark on ink blot on February 26th of 22. The cover and art by Angel Medina and Scott Hanna, and the stories by Zeb Wells. And then we have a CGC 96 White Pages, Hulk Gray, #1 of 6, I believe. Yeah. That's a Marvel book. It's December of 03. Signed by Tim Sale on July 31st in 2021, which was at Terrificon. Tim Sale cover and art, and Jeff Loeb story, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Tim Sale passed away, right? If I'm wrong, comment down below and let me know. Pretty sure, though. I have the first 2 of those that I think he signed. I'm not sure. I had the other one out, but I put it somewhere. Anyway. And then we have CGC 96 White Pages, The Schlub, #1, which is an image book from August of 2023. Signed by Ryan Stegman, and he always signs it like a little stegosaurus there. And Ryan Stegman and Kenny Porter did the story, and Terrell Cannon did the cover and the art. Anyway, so let's get to, 9/4, CBCS 9/4 White Pages, Lobo's Back, #1 of 4. It's a DC book from May of 1992. And that's signed by Simon Bisley on May 21st, 2023. I guess there were 3 different covers. I got the one. I got the whole miniseries. I don't know if I had them all signed. I got them all graded, I think. I know they're all graded. I think I did have them all signed. But these are all #1. And then a CGC 9/2 White Pages, Galactic Guardians, #1. 1 of 4, I think it says. Yeah. That's a Marvel book from July of 94, signed by Steve Montano on July 31st of 2021, which was in Terrificon. Michael Gallagher story, Kevin West cover and art. I mean, it's got, it didn't even say Montano's credits here, but it's got his name right here at the bottom. I don't know, I think maybe he inked it. Maybe he inked those covers. But anyway, and then last but not least, we have the CGC 9/6 White Pages, Legends of the Dark Claw, #1, which is an amalgam book, which is where Marvel and DC got together and amalgamized their characters, right? They smashed them together, and this is a amalgam of Wolverine and Batman. There's a pretty cool story. I met Larry Hama. He was a really nice guy. He signed that on July 31st of 2022. So it's a Larry Hama story. Jim Ballant and Ray McCarthy cover and art. So that's all the books that are up here. I was going to show as I was up here. I do have a reader copy of Man Without Fear, Daredevil, and a reader copy of Lobo. Is that it? I guess so for now. Should I show these raw books first? Let's just do that because I got to go get the slabs. All right. What do I have here? Oh, that's the Lucky Devils. So that's from my comic store. All right. So these are all raw #1s. It's just an assortment, very random. Tried to put them in some kind of an order, but I don't know how I did. I was putting it together last night. I didn't get to record. The first one I have here was Classics Illustrated #1, The Three Musketeers. It's an old book, but I think it's a reprint from an even older, book. But it's The Three Musketeers, and of course, the Classic Illustrated was a great way to read, the old classic novels in a shorter form with illustrations. I mean, I always like to read comics because it shows, especially if they're based on a book or a movie, or mostly a book. That's why I go to movies like The Hobbit. Then it shows their interpretation of the characters. There's that, Classic Illustrated. Oh, and this is the book that I picked, Viking Moon. I thought it looked really cool, and so I grabbed it. And I just wanted to put it in here because it's, a modern, new #1. It's an image book, and I think, what's his name here? Oh, Joe Pruitt. I believe he's going to be at the Fantasticon, which is going to be in Ohio in March 14th and 15th or something like that. Anyway, so I pulled that out, modern book, and we'll be working back from there. That's one of my older books probably, and that's one of my newest books. And this is also a very modern book, which is called Cover of Darkness, #1. It says variant issue. And actually, I picked it up, I think it was in a $1 box. I thought it was a cool cover. It's got all the old classic monsters with a kind of a new interpretation, and they're all floating heads. I've got a sub-collection of books that have floating heads on the cover. So basically, that's why I grabbed this. I like the monsters and the floating heads. So, and then this is another brand new book, Cal Exit #1, which I haven't really read. I started looking through that. I took the first couple issues up north. I don't remember what I was looking at in it, but I did look at it a little bit. I liked it. It's got the globe thing there, which is in the front of Universal Studios, I believe. Not that I've ever seen it. I've been to Universal Studios in Florida, but not California. All right, and here, this is a little older book. Hellboy in Love, #1 of 2, which almost all the Hellboy's books, I think, are basically mini-series. I think all of them. It's on my pull list, so anytime Hellboy comes out, I don't have all the BPRD stuff, but I'm pretty sure I have all the Hellboy stuff. So I always like his art. Mike Mignola. I like his art. He draws cool monsters, and Hellboy's funny. And here actually is another brand new modern book, but I like these covers. It's The Last Barbarians, #1, which is kind of a good girl, bad girl art cover. I don't know. And then this is also Last Barbarian #1. So I grabbed 2 of these covers. I thought I had a couple more, and I didn't see them. But they're cool covers. I've got a whole box of books that have just good girl art. Beautiful women on the cover. So then we go to, this is image book called Astro City, #1, Kurt Busiek's Astro City, which reminds me of Alex Ross art, kind of. I don't know if that's what he was trying to imitate there, but I grabbed that because it's like a whole different take on superheroes. I don't remember the whole story now. Oh, then I have this. Oh, well, this isn't, okay. I have this, which is #1, which is a modern book, Flash Gordon #1, and it's signed by Sam Jones, who was Flash Gordon in the 80s movie with the, it wasn't Queen music, it was Brian May music. And they also had him sign this. This is actually Flash Gordon 31, but it's got a photo cover of him. And then if you got a couple books signed, he would sign one of these cards. Because Flash Gordon, of course, was a football star, you know, before he became an astronaut. And, all right, I grabbed this because it's, you know, been in the news. I guess there was a new one that came out. It's a 9/0 Superman #1. Of course, this is a facsimile. But the census has changed because there was a high grade, I believe it was an 8/0. There were 2 8/0s and 2 7/5s, which one of the 7/5s was the Fantastic Collections, you know, from the movie Selling Superman, which I did just watch, well, over the Christmas break. I watched Selling Superman. It's like, it's streaming on Prime. It's like a 4-part series now. And I mean, I liked it because it's local. It's a cool story about, you know, finding a huge comic book collection. And it's got a bunch of the local vendors that I see at the shows there. Great little documentary about comics. You know, it's kind of a touching story. You know, it's kind of crazy because it's, you know, the whole family dynamic was not good when they were kids, I guess. But, I mean, can't complain if you end up with comic books that are worth that kind of money. So anyway, Superman 1, which I also have. Superman, Man of Steel #1, which is right here. Which now I think, what they said is this is the first variant cover, Man of Steel #1, which has got, you know, the original cover shows him ripping open the shirt. Which this is all John Byrne, right? John Byrne art. I love John Byrne. You see. And this is a mini-series, and they changed now. I guess they updated the whole Superman story in it, right? Yeah, 6-part mini-series by John Byrne and Giordano. So, then I have, talking about Superman, Chuck Norris and the Karate Commandos #1. I love Chuck Norris. This is a Star Comics. I'd never seen this until, I don't know, a while back when at the show when I bought this. It says $10. I think they were all half price. I bought like a bundle of books, but yeah, I just never seen it. Big Chuck Norris fan, so I grabbed it. Now here's an older book. Back to it is an Eclipse book, Miracle Man #1. I don't have that much information on it. I bought it. I don't know, just I knew it was #1, Miracle Man. I'd heard of him. Had a long time. And then this is Appleseed, Book 1, Volume 1. I think I've got pretty much the whole Appleseed series. I bought a big box of comics 20 years ago for like $300. I think there were like 300 comics in it. And this was in it. And I got my Marvel Spotlight #5 in there. I forget what else. There were some good books in there. I bought a few collections over the years, and now it's hard to remember which ones were which, but they're all mixed in. Okay, now this is a Kitchen Sink Comics, Xenozoic Tales #1, which has got some great covers. And of course, here is the very first Marvel comic, Marvel Comics #1, which I think they said this first Submariner in comics was in this book, the original. I know it says a Kazar story, So I don't know. He must have been in. He was in Jungle Comics before that. I'm not really sure. And of course, then I've got a X-Men #1, which is of course a facsimile just like this. And I've got pretty much facsimiles of the big grails that are hard to afford. And I'd love to have an X-Men one. I used to love the X-Men. I read a bunch of them when I was a kid. But I'm trying to get Spider-Man. I want to get all the Spider-Man books. Here's Kazar 1 with the X-Men and Daredevil. Daredevil and the X-Men. But I believe this is a reprint of the first stories of Kazar in Marvel Comics. Because I think he first appeared in an X-Men story, and I remember reading the Daredevil. I never read Daredevil much, but I saw Kazar was in it, and so I read the stories, and it was where Daredevil got captured by Kazar's brother, who was what, Plunder? Kevin Plunder or something like that. Anyway, and Daredevil lost his powers, so he was really blind. Remember that. But this says it's from 1971. But I know Kazar was up before that. And then this, is Captain Marvel #1. First Captain Marvel in his own book, I'm pretty sure. And it's in a top loader. I like the top loaders because you can see the backs. I put them in I usually try to put them in a nice Mylar, upside down, so the flap's down here. See, I stuck the price in there, so I remember what the price was on it when I got it. I doubt I paid full price, but it gives you a guideline. And I have this, which is another pretty modern book, Marvel Comics Presents #1, but it's not the series with Weapon X. I have all that too, but that's all put away. And this is another modern book, which I believe this is based on a video game, right? Marvel Rivals #1, Hellfire Gala. I don't know that much about Marvel Rivals at all. But I picked that book up just because it was a #1, probably, mostly. And then we get back. Actually, I think I showed these the other day. But it was a signed one. X-Men 1, signed by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee. But I don't think I had any other issues. I had these, and they were in a different pile. But that's, I don't know if that's issue 1. Oh, that's the main issue, which has the gatefold cover. So there's the front cover on there, which is issue 1. And then here is issue 1 with the Magneto cover, which I think, they're all hooked together here. If you look at them. Magneto's there. If you can see how Cyclops' beam is going to there. And then this is X-Men 1, the Colossus cover. Which goes right there. When you unfold this one, that's what you get. Is all the covers connected. Because here is the very first cover, which is the Beast cover, which goes to there. So if you get all 4 of them, you can see all 4 covers and you can put them together and see them. If you get the one big gatefold cover, then you got to open it up and unfold it, which damages it usually. I don't think I have any of them graded except the signed one. And here is another Marvel comic, Mutant X #1, which Mutant X is like a different, maybe from a different universe, I guess, version of Cable, Nathan Summers. I have all those. And then this is a Toys R Us limited edition X-Men #1. I'm not even sure where I got that or what. Maybe in one of those boxes I bought, but I don't know. But it's, a #1, kind of a weird #1. And then this is Excalibur #1. I think that's the first Excalibur in their own series. And we have, if we can get hold of it here, these are all like X-Men, solo characters. Nightcrawler #1. I always like Nightcrawler too. And all new Dupe #1. Which Dupe was a strange character. Some kind of a mutant. He has crazy powers. Oh, and then X-Force Shatterstar, 1 of 4. I thought Shatterstar might be a big character in Deadpool, but they didn't use him very much. I mean, he was there. All right, and then this is the Eternals #1, but it's #1 in the 12-issue miniseries. So, it's not the original Eternals 1, and I don't have Eternals 1. I have Eternals 2 and 3. I think 2 is the first appearance of Cersei, but I don't have #1. And then I have this, Jack of Hearts, #1, 1 of a 4-issue miniseries. And I have this, Black Cat #1, which is a new modern book, but it's also got like the good girl art on the cover. This one too. Oh, and then this is the Marvel Swimsuit Edition #1, and that says it's a variant edition. I think it's supposed to be Elektra on the cover. I guess maybe that's a Human Torch. Looks like he's steaming. And this is Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1, which I think this is like the second volume of Nick Fury books. I also have this Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos #1 King Size Annual. Which I haven't shown many annuals because I don't really consider them true #1s as far as the annuals. But I don't have much. I have a few issues of the original Sergeant Fury and Howling Commandos series. I think I have issue 14. It was the lowest one I have. Anyway, then this is Kull the Conqueror #1, which is another character by Robert E. Howard, kind of part of the Conan universe. I think Kull was supposed to be way before Conan even. And then this is The Power of Warlock #1. It was Adam Warlock, or him. I think I have the first appearance of him, which was in a Thor book, right? An old Thor book. And I think I have the first appearance of the Cocoon, I think it was in Fantastic Four book. And then this is Untold Tales of the New Universe, Starbrand #1, which was from back in, I don't know, sometime early mid-90s, I believe. They did a whole reboot of the New Universe. Which now I think I saw a thing saying that this is Ms. Marvel #1, but Carol Danvers, I don't know if it was those Battle World books. I thought it said on the cover, Carol Danvers is in possession of the Starbrand. I haven't read that book, but and of course this is Quasar #1, which is kind of different because he's using Captain Marvel's Negabands, right? And then she became Ms. Marvel, became Captain Marvel, but she doesn't use any Negabands. Where's that Captain Marvel? I don't know. Anyway, I dropped one, but it's all right. And then we have Beware the Claws of the Cat #1. I think I bought this whole mini-series for like $40. And then I got another copy, I think this copy, which I think I had this one cleaned and pressed. Maybe not. It's in a double board, which a lot of times that's how they come back. From Amp Comic Cleaner, Aaron at Amp Comic Cleaner. He'll be at the show this weekend. If you need any books cleaned or pressed, he'll have a booth there that he takes books in, or you can also reach him at his Instagram page. Right there. And I have Power Pack #1, which is I don't know, I thought they might show up in like the Fantastic Four movie or something. I watched that the other day too. Fantastic Four First Steps, which was pretty good. I don't like the way they changed the story up that much. I know they're trying to work it into the whole multiverse. But I wanted to see the Thing. They made it was a great Thing. He had great costume or depiction of the Thing. And I have this Punisher #1 of a 4-issue miniseries. That's the first Punisher in his own title. I believe I have his original full monthly series. I think I have #1 in all of those up to I think I have them all, but I'm not sure. Then I have this Alice Cooper #1, which I bought because I was going to meet Alice Cooper I wanted to have Alice Cooper sign it at Motor City Comic Con. So I ordered this off eBay for like $6 or something, and it didn't show up until after. But I did have him sign the, I think it's the $1 Billion Babies album, where he's got the snake in his face. Okay, and then we have this, since I had Alice Cooper, Kiss Psycho Circus, which was signed by, I forget who this is now. I think this was Angel Medina also. Where's the Angel Medina one? Right there, right? Yeah. Same signature, and he did a sketch, a remark of Gene Simmons on there. The demon, the beast, whatever he is. And then, I guess, we lost Ace Frehley this year, right? Shame. Now we're getting crazy. The NFL Super Pro #1. You have one of those? If you don't have one of those, you probably don't have one of these. Turok Dinosaur Hunter #1. Which I don't know. Everybody's got one of these, right? It's just a cool cover. I didn't get it graded because there are a million of them out there. Now, I do have a couple of these, which are very old Gold Key Comics, Turok, Son of Stone. I don't know, crazy numbers on them. 509, but it's almost like a serial number type thing. 707, July, I don't know what year these were really, and I'm not going to put them up. So, I'm going to grab these slabs and bring them over here so we can check those out.
10 hours later.
All right, change of plans. This may be a 3-parter. So I've got a whole other box of slabs. And that's going to take too long. I'm already almost an hour in here, so once I edit it out, it's going to be shorter. I'm going to set right back up here again with new slabs, and we'll go through those, make it a lot shorter. If I find any other random #1 raw books, maybe we'll show those. I don't know how big a haul there's going to be at the comic store. It might be bigger because it's first of the year. But anyway, so I'm going to head out of here, head to my LCS, grab my books for this week, and then I'll be back shooting a new video probably tomorrow or the next day. And I'm going to go to the Warren Elk Comic Book Show on Saturday, the 10th. I'll see you there. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Keep coming back here to my comic closet, where we bring comics and comic collecting right out of the closet. So, thank you.